You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Sportscast here. This is your host, Brian and Craig. We're on for episode 122. It's headlines. That's what this news is today. It's all headlines. We don't have a spotlight of the week for you because we have so many headlines to get into. But Craig, before we get into that real quick here, our hearts are heavy this week. And you all know it by now, the school shooting in Texas and Uvalde, Texas, that took 19 children's lives and 2 teachers' lives, I believe. Prayers and thoughts have gone out to you this whole week. This actually happened Tuesday when we were on the show, but we didn't know all the details. That's why we didn't really mention it then. But this sick is something you don't want to see, and we pray for all those families. And it's close to my heart, Craig. I know you too. You got children. I got 4 girls. 2 are in elementary, and it hit hard. It hit hard.
Yeah, I mean, I got one that's got 1 year left, and you shouldn't have to worry about. It seems like churches and schools, the 2 places you should be the safest, seem to be the places that this happens so many times, and it's just sad.
Very sad. And did you hear Steve Kerr's interview at the end of the game? That was Now I I'm not a big. I don't usually like listen to Steve Kerr and what he talks about, but that one sends chills, gives me goosebumps.
Yeah,
it's a good watch if you haven't watched it already. Hate to start off the show like this with such sad news, but on the other side of our intro here, we will have the headlines of the week for you. Stay tuned. All right, Craig, we got about 9 or 10 things to get into here from all different levels of sports. Where we got the NBA update we're going to give you guys. We got football, we've got baseball, we've got basketball, and all sorts of things to jump into here. We usually give you a spotlight of the week, but there's just so many things to get into. Something to look forward to, guys, though. Next Tuesday, me and Craig, we're going to give you our preseason NFL power rankings. We're going to rank the teams 1 through 32 and go through that next Tuesday. So feel free to continue to follow and watch the show. We appreciate those guys that are following and watching us now. And if you're on YouTube, you can live chat the show. All right, Craig. Well, let's do the NBA update. That's fresh right now. The Mavericks fall last night by 10 points, 120 to 110. Yeah, we saw this coming after they lost game 2, went down 2-0 to the Warriors, and especially after they lost their game 3. I think everyone knew it was over. Jason Kidd was talking like it was over after game 4. Luka was talking like it was over after Game 4. It seemed like, so it is what it is. The Mavericks can hold their head up high. They were never supposed to be here. They took down the Suns, which was a surprise. They beat the Jazz, which wasn't surprising, except the fact that they have, they were missing some star players. Or sorry, we were missing. No, the Jazz were missing star players, weren't they?
Yeah, they were missing, their point guard too.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still
Luka was
and
injured.
then you've got the
That's right.
controversy in Utah of the guys that don't like each other and everything like that.
Yeah, and well, I forget Luka was out some games.
He was for game 1 and 2, yeah,
so
but
we
he
did
came
win.
back for the rest of it.
That's right. That seems like so long ago, but it really wasn't. But it looks like though, Craig, so far Golden State, your pick is on their way. On their way so far.
My guy Clay goes ham last night and drops, everything that he has, and it's good to see because this guy went through so much with the injuries over the last 2 years. I don't know if you ever saw the commercial or whatever, though, the 900 and something days of him rebuilding Achilles tendons and ACLs and it's all worth it. They go to the finals for the 6th time in 8 years, and I mean, it's the modern day dynasty. And like I said before, no matter what happens in the East, I think Golden State is your world champions this year.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I really like Boston. I think I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to say Boston's going to win it. I think they win tonight and take it, and they go to the championship. Their defense is really good. And Golden State's, although they're really fantastic, I mean, it's hard to pick against them. But I just think Boston will take it. I have a feeling in my gut that this is kind of their year. Now, we've seen games in the playoffs where they haven't showed up, and I give you that. That's happened a lot with the Mavericks,
they've been better at showing up this series than they were the original series. The original series, against Philly, it took Philly kind of imploding on itself to bring out what Boston could do.
Right, and when Golden State played Dallas, they were able to pick apart Luka on defense because he's not a defensive guy. He's not very good on defense, and they were able to go at him and use that as a weakness. This Boston defense doesn't really have a weakness where they can pick on somebody. So it's going to come down to hitting their shots. But they do make you run. They run. Golden State runs all over the gym. So I think Miami's been a little disappointing. They scored 80 points the last 2 games, I believe. We talked about it on Tuesday that their 5 starters total scored 18 points.
I have to look up if Jimmy's going to play, but I think that's the key.
Yeah, he is the key to that team. But I just think Boston wins it tonight. Sends on, they go on to the championship, and it'll be a good. I think it goes to games. I think it goes 7 games. I think we're looking into a really good NBA championship this year between if it's Boston and now, well, obviously it's Golden State, but if Boston ends up going, so the Mavericks have some question marks. What are they going to do with Brunson? Are they going to pay him? Like, I think that's the biggest debate.
Cuban said last night. Cuban made the statement last night. We can pay him more than anybody, so he plans on probably giving him as much as he can give him. Is what it sounds like. Now, to me, that's you don't do that.
Now, what would you do? Yeah, what would you do? Tell me what you would do.
Well, I have to go to Brunson and go, hey, listen, I understand you want all the money. But if I give you all the money, this is what we're going to play with. And it wasn't good enough this year. If I give you this money, yes, any other team can give you more. I get that. But it isn't about money. It's about winning. And let's take a deal and help us out, and we'll help you out. Like, I don't know the Mavericks salary cap. I don't have it sitting in front of me. But I don't think they can do the max deal with Luka, a max deal with Brunson, and then go sign a big-name free agent. So you're going to have to Brunson's going to have to there's got to be a give and take somewhere. I don't know what Cuban's plans are. Maybe Cuban's going to just run it back, and he thinks that this team is good enough. I hope he doesn't, because as for Maverick fans, I hope he doesn't do that at all. But I don't know. We'll see. Because any big name free agent you're going to bring in, it's going to want a bigger amount of money. They're not going to come in for a deal.
No, definitely not. Now, they're talking on the fan today. It said if we sign Brunson, this is it. They're basically done in free agency.
And that's what I'm saying.
Sign nobody. And this team is not good enough.
Yeah. It
just
showed you.
You're going to get Tim Hardaway Jr. back. That makes you better if he can stay healthy.
That contract hurts you too. I love Timmy Hardaway as an ex-Wolverine, but that contract hurt.
Well, honestly, I think they signed Brunson. They cannot just let Brunson go. Period. In a story. They let Brunson go. You don't have enough cap. It's not like if you let Brunson go, you have all this money to go sign somebody. They have to sign Brunson or sign and trade Brunson. I would like to sign and trade Brunson, but I think realistically they sign Brunson and they probably try and trade Hardaway Jr. because they just proved they can get to the Western Conference Finals without him. Right? So if that contract's really on the books and it's hurting them, you trade him away. He's a solid piece. I like the guy. He's hit or miss on three. That seems like the whole team is hit or miss on 3 points except Luka. I really like Dinwiddie. I think at times, if he can put it together at most games, he played really well.
I think him and Bertans have one more year. I think.
Yeah. The biggest thing to me is I'm a newly Mavericks fan coming over from the Lakers. I'm not a big Mark Cuban fan. I never have been, and my issue with I have a lot of issues with Cuban, but my thing is he's not willing to pay that luxury tax to have a good team, and I think he's the type of guy that's going to be on the cheaper side and thinks that this team. I talked about it on the podcast before. I think he's going to think it was when me and you and Jeff jumped on. He's going to think this is good enough because we got so far. Once these guys develop, then we're going to be
by signing Brunson to a max deal. That'll tell you what he thinks. Right,
and sometimes maybe he said those things just because. But Brunson's going to come for the whole book because he's going to come for the pocketbook because they had a chance to get him for. It was a 4-year, $55 million deal before the season. Mavericks said no, we're not doing that. And then Mavericks came through him and halfway through the season and said, "Hey, we'll do that deal." And Brunson said, "No, sir, we're having a career year right now." And he knows he can get paid. And he knows. I just don't know how much you want to pay him. I'm willing $20 million a year, but anything over that, I don't think it's worth it. You cannot justify paying Brunson as a number 2 if he's not a true number 2. Yeah. You just can't do it. It's going to hurt your team when you're going up against guys that have a true number 2.
Yeah. Your pick for Game 6 just got better because Tyler Hero's not playing tonight.
Oh. Is Jimmy Butler playing tonight?
It didn't say. It just said Hero's out.
Well, I'm telling you, I think Boston ends it tonight.
It just came across the Athletic wire.
Nice. 7 games, I believe, the next series. Yeah. But I'm interested to see what the Mavericks do in the offseason. Levine is still an option on the table we're talking about. I think he'll play in LA next year. I think that's their big.
I think that's the big talk.
I would like for the Mavericks to go get Rudy Gobert. They need a center. There's trouble there in Utah. Can we afford him as another different than the whole other
Gobert or Aiden?
My thing. Well, I'd rather have Aiden because he can score. Gobert is just a defensive guy. He's not going to score a lot of points. Aiden is more of a big man that can score points, and I think we need both on this team.
Yeah. You definitely need rebounding because last night was brutal.
And with the inconsistency of this team's shooting and scoring points, then you need somebody else that's going to be there scoring points. So I take Aiden over Gobert, but I'm not. I saw something the other day that said Mavericks fans shouldn't be turning their nose up at Rudy Gobert. No, we shouldn't. We're not in a position to be picky.
Well, no, he's better than what you got. He's better than anything you got.
They're kind of like Cowboy fans. They sometimes they seem to be a little picky. I'm like, what are we being picky about? You don't have the right to be picky, guys. We haven't done anything. Let's put some talent on this team. I think Gobert would be a fantastic addition to the Dallas Mavericks, and it'd be a great pickup. But I'm just interested to see what they do in the offseason. I got another question for you. Was this playoff run from Dallas a little fluky? Do you believe it was a little fluky? Charles Barkley last night said it was a little fluky, and I kind of agree with him a certain bit. Not that I'm trying to take anything away from the Mavericks, because a lot of times, and you know this being a sports fan, hopefully, a lot of times when you win it all, there's some luck that goes your way. There's some things that fall your way that sometimes they don't. Each game, and sometimes when you're on a roll and it's your destiny and it's that type of thing, things tend to roll your way a little bit better. Do you think this was a fluky offseason, not offseason, but playoffs for the Dallas Mavericks?
I wouldn't call it fluky. I would call it lucky in the Utah series. You had the right guys out, but then again, you had your own issues to deal with Luka missing the first two games. The Phoenix series wasn't a fluke. Phoenix wet the bed game 7. And whether it's because they didn't show up or because of what Jason Kidd did adjustment-wise, that's not on the Mavericks. That's not a fluke for the Mavericks. That's you went out and played defense for a game and locked some people down and created a bad shooting and got some rebounds and did what you needed to do. Golden State was always better roster-wise. So to lose in 6 games to Golden State or 5 games to Golden State, yeah. That's nothing to hang your head about. They're a better team. They're a better roster. They're deeper. They've played together for longer. And
the
Dallas is going to get,
too,
yes, 100%. But what I'm saying is you beat them. And so I don't call that a fluke. I mean, if you won on some buzzer beaters, or if you won on officiating, or if you won, but the games you beat Phoenix, you blew them out. And they blew you out. And
I'm gonna say a little fluky for 2 reasons. One, the Denver Nuggets are a better basketball team, and they were completely injured. So going into next season, I think Denver is better than the Mavericks. You look at the Lakers. Okay, the Lakers will probably make a move this offseason and get Levine. They're going to be a lot better. They're not going to miss the playoffs and be that bad again. It's just not going to happen, right? So that's
it depends. I mean, if the Russell Westbrook, if they keep him, and that's really a mad match, and that team doesn't get along with each other and implodes on itself, it doesn't matter who's coaching.
I don't think there's a way LeBron misses back-to-back playoffs. I don't see it.
Well, Father Time is
undefeated. I'm not saying they're number 1 seed. I'm just saying I think they're not going to be a pushover as they were this year. Can they
stay healthy? Can Mr. Street Clothes? Mr. Street Clothes stay off the bench?
Can
LeBron stay off the bench? I mean, to me, that's the deal. I just don't think. I think Father Time has caught LeBron. I just think the time has passed. I think he's there, but he's not going to be your MVP. He's not going to be your 40 a night. He's not going to play for 45 minutes a night. He's just not.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying the Lakers will not be that bad this year. I could almost bet you money that they will be at the playoffs next season.
I kind of hope they are.
And then you look at the Suns, who are the better basketball team. You did beat them down. I don't know. And my other argument for being a little fluky, and when I say fluky, I'm not trying to take anything away from the Mavericks at all. Fluky to me is a little bit of I call it fluky. You say lucky. Is the role players for Dallas played outside their mind. They weren't doing that all season long. You know what I mean? They stepped up in the half the year, and they weren't playing like they were all year. So they had some people step up and play, I think, better than they ever have been to get to that point where they played better. So that's why I agree with a little fluky. Am I saying that's a bad thing? I don't think it's a bad thing. Just some things rolled your way that I don't think it's going to happen again next year. And that's why I think if they stay with this roster, if they don't add anybody in, they don't make a trade, I think we're going to be worse next year.
I mean, you got to
Worse,
remember though.
worse than what we were this year.
You've got to remember though that two of those players in Bertans and Dinwiddie didn't get there till late. So chemistry wise, maybe playoff run is when they started to really get molded in. So you say they didn't play like that all year, but they didn't play like that all year because they weren't playing together. So I mean, I don't know. I think I think if you roll it back with the team that you have, you're going to have a similar result. That's the bottom line. You have to do something to improve the team. Whether it's draft, which they don't have any draft picks, and Cuban hates the draft and whatever, or free agency, they've got to figure it out.
I'm always in the mindset if you didn't get better in the offseason, then you got worse because everyone else is trying to make their team better. So if you bring the same team back, I don't know. I think
because everybody else is probably going to get better. So
right, exactly. Well. And you talk about Bertans and didn't get there till late. Well, all Bertans does is shoot from three. He can do that anywhere without chemistry. It's just hitting the shots.
Yeah, but I mean, does Luka know where to find him? And him and Dinwiddie got together and started playing better?
Now, Dinwiddie, we need another guy that can consistently drive the basket, and we need a big. That's what we need.
You need a big. 100%. You need
a big is the number one need. Anywho, we went on a little bit into that, but no big deal. I had one more question for you about the Dallas Mavericks, but I can't think of what it was.
We'll revisit it later in the show if you come across it.
All right, guys. Well, the next headline of the week, and I thought this was news. You tell me, Craig, when I read this, if it's news to you, because it was news to me. Deshaun Watson admits to having sex with 3 of the 22 accusers. Is that news to you? Because that came out the other day, and I was like, "What?" Or did you already know this? Because apparently this already came out.
This is a 2-part answer. It's news to you now because nobody said it. But if you read between the lines of what the accusers were, that was pretty well spoken in there that he had gone a little bit further than what he was supposed to. And it wasn't just touching and saying things. I 100% had figured that was the thing. Now, the problem I have is why now? Why is this coming out now? Because my guess would be to deter some of the civil suits and say, well, no, they agreed to sleeping with me.
Yeah, well, let me rephrase that. Consensual sex with 3 of the 3 that he had sex. He's saying it was all consensual.
And that's what I'm saying is so if he says that's consensual, well, then that takes those 3 and negates them. They can't file a claim of harassment if you agreed to have relationship with him. If you agreed to do that with him, then any judge should say, well, that's consensual. Then all this other stuff was consensual too.
But are the women agreeing to that?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why not? I mean, why did none of this come out in the case against them? Why did this not come out? Why did we not bring this up when we were doing it with criminal charges? Why is it just coming out now in the civil charges? And why is he telling the NFL? Is that supposed to make his suspension less? Like, I don't know his plan. To me,
look, I made a TikTok about it, and I did a longer video and put it on here. And some guy got on there and was just proving that this is old news. And I was like, I've never heard this in my life. I
don't think it's old news. I mean, what I think it is people had their suspicions of when this came out that some of the women jumped on the lawsuit train once they saw. I think some of these girls were 100% wrongly done, 100%. But I think some of them
want money.
They wanted to back up the Brinks truck and get their payday. So were the ones that he's saying that he slept with, are they money grabbing or are they ones that are real? I don't know. I mean, because I don't know. I didn't hear any of the defamations. Well, I know that there's 3 women right now that had an interview the other day and were completely astounded that he got this contract. They're like, that is a absolute slap in the face that we
Yeah.
went and did all this. We came out and told our story and put our whole life out in public. And then he turns around and gets a multi-million-dollar contract and is set for the rest of his life. That is the NFL basically just double middle fingered those women and said, we don't care what. We're just cared about us. Cleveland just said, we don't care about any of this harassment. We don't believe it. We're going to do our guy and we're going to win football games. And so that's a bad look on them.
Well, this guy was sending me stuff. I ended up deleting the video because I was like, I don't know if this is old news. It was new news to me. I was going off of that. My video was going off of this being new news because
I've never heard anybody confirm it.
To me,
I've heard speculations, but never heard it.
what other side of the fence you're sitting on? What do you believe, Deshaun? Do you believe the women? Whatever side of the fence. To me, when this is admitted, it opens the door for, well, did Deshaun go to someone else and think he could get away with more than what they were willing to do? This is just a bad look perception wise for Deshaun, and it's no argument really. It really
My
is no
question's
argument.
always been, why do you need 33 different masseuses? Like, find the one that you're comfortable with, find the one that works, and whether the team hires them or whether you just use that, you have enough money, fly her out to your away games, fly her to your home, whatever you need to do. I mean, why do you need 32? You're not going. I mean, you don't need one in every NFL city. Just take the one that works. Take the one that you have a relationship with. You know how she's comfortable. She knows how you're comfortable, and do that. Why do we need 32 different deals like that? I don't understand that at all. I mean, if I'm the Houston Texans, I'm like, hey, we got it, Deshaun. We're just gonna have one. That's her. That's your. Don't do anything else.
I just don't get it either.
We'll take it from here. Since you can't seem to do it for yourself, we'll treat you like you're 5 years old, and we'll just give you one.
If he's looking to have sex,
yeah, the masseuse
pay
isn't
somebody.
the place to go. Yeah,
no, go find a You're Deshaun Watson.
I think you
could walk into Walmart and find somebody.
I think you got misunderstood of what massage parlor meant. I don't understand. Like
he got a call from the Patriots owner up there, and
if I'm Robert Kraft, I'll sign you. We'll go together.
Yeah,
I got a place.
Well, heck, Robert Kraft will walk in there and be like, wow, you're able to do all that here? Yeah. Mine's only a little bit of happy ending. What's going on? It's a bad look for Deshaun. It brings up more questions than anything. And if you're Deshaun,
if I'm the NFL, I'm definitely like, well, we appreciate that information. Here's your 8 games. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Here you go.
And, well, you're Deshaun Watson. You can go to any club in the world and get a girl to go home with you like
walk outside.
Yes. So I just don't understand that. I just don't get it. Now, I don't blame the Browns. You want to pay the man?
Well,
great.
I mean, it doesn't look good when here he is going through all this, and you basically said, I don't care.
I mean,
it's
not a great look. I agree with you.
If Rodgers retired and the Green Bay Packers signed it to John Watson,
I'm jumping for joy right now.
Well,
no.
I know.
I'm jumping for joy.
Now look, okay, that's a terrible example, I guess. Non-morality, Brian. I forgot. All right.
No, look, I have plenty of morals. The NFL does not. They act like they do, but they don't give a crap.
If the Dallas Cowboys signed him, I'm like, well, here we go. Now we're going to hear that convict. Did you see the thing today that the San Diego Chargers are the only team to not have somebody that has been arrested in the last 4 or 5 seasons? I mean, it's the NFL, I guess. It's
NFL. I have no hope for the NFL to have morals. They're going to do whatever they do to line their pocketbooks. That's it. If I'm a Cleveland Brown fan, I'm ignoring all the hate, and I'm loving that we pick up Deshaun Watson because it knows we're going to win games. Whether it's do you think the suspension? Because there's a suspension coming.
Yes.
8 games,
when? I don't
games.
know. I have no idea.
I hope it.
I thought it was this week, but.
Well, that was supposed to be last week, and then this keeps going.
They were meeting with him, and all they did when they met with him was talk about who he slept with.
I don't know. I don't know what we're waiting on.
They're waiting on ruining Baker Mayfield's career because with
poor
every day that goes by, Baker's sitting on the bench a little longer.
Deshaun Watson's paying money to take the whole team, the offensive team on something,
except
they're like
Baker.
Yeah, I don't think Baker's showing up that one, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, I would. That's a free trip. A free trip.
Yeah,
buddy.
what they were saying is he's not invited.
Yeah,
he invited everybody but Baker.
Well, speaking of quarterback controversies, we've got another one that just won't go away. Colin Kaepernick gets a workout with the Raiders. Will this turn into anything for him? Would you think that
they came out today and they said there's no deal imminent? I don't think so. Of course, Derek Carr is
obviously
doubling down. This is still my team, and I don't think the
Raiders
to be
said.
Well, no, it doesn't, because I don't think that's what the Raiders were ever trying to do. They're not trying to replace Derek Carr. They're trying to make sure if Derek Carr goes down, they got an insurance policy. And right now they don't. I mean, again, if I'm Dallas, I'll look at Kaepernick. He's better than Ben DiNucci. He's better. Kaepernick right now, after sitting on the bench, coming off the street cold, is better than about 8 or 10 of the backups that are playing in the NFL. He led a team to a Super Bowl. Did we forget this? Did we forget that he was NFC Championship one year and the Super Bowl the next, and was, one throw away from winning a Super Bowl? I mean, if he hits that guy if he doesn't have one more Wheatie that day and doesn't overthrow the guy in the end zone, he had that guy. He had Crabtree in the back of the end zone in the corner. He had him. Crab had a step on that guy, and they win. And that's the Super Bowl when the lights went out and the delay and everything like that. But I'm telling you, he's not horrible. I mean, morality-wise, the kneeling, the bringing the attention to himself, he does it the wrong way. I get what he's saying, but you can't say police brutality and then wear socks with pigs on them for, deal. Like, stop. Do it the way you're supposed to do it. But he's not a horrible quarterback. Talent-wise, he's in the NFL and he won football games.
He did win games. Look, Colin Kaepernick got blackballed from the NFL.
Yes.
I'm not dumb enough.
I'm not sure that the Raiders didn't like what they saw, and the NFL came knocking on the door and said, "Hey, remember this? Or we're not doing this."
Well, I think it goes the other way. I think the Raiders have no intention of picking him up. I think this is
then
just
why work him out? Then why waste the kid's time?
I think this is just a way for him to come in and have the Raiders say, "Oh, he looked pretty impressive, but I think we're going to go in a different direction," and it opens up to other teams going, "Well, maybe we should look at Kaepernick. Maybe we should give him a shot." He's not. Look, when he left the NFL, kicked out, what are we going to call it? He was not that great. To me, he was good enough. He's good enough for a backup quarterback. But
yes.
do you want your backup quarterback to draw more attention to your starting quarterback? And that is no. You don't want the drama that comes with it.
Maybe. If the organization can handle it, I think the Raiders are perfect, because I think Carr will double down and say this every week, and
he's not going. I don't know if this turns into anything, but the NFL can
obviously
spin
I don't think it will.
If he gets a job somewhere being a backup, because he's not starting anywhere, he hasn't played 2016.
Yeah, no, he's not going to start.
The NFL can spin this into a good way. Look, we've changed our ways, and we're changing this. And look, Colin Kaepernick's back in the league. The NFL will spin this either way. And if he doesn't make a team, they're going, look, he wasn't blackballed. He's not good enough. He's not good enough to be. No one wants him.
I completely disagree with that statement.
I know. I'm just saying the NFL can spin it whatever way.
If that guy that was in Buffalo a couple years ago who had a negative quarterback, who had a quarterback rating less if you took the ball every time and spiked it into the ground, your quarterback rating would have been higher than that guy in that game. Stop it. If that guy's in the NFL and on a football team, which he is currently on a roster right now, then Colin Kaepernick should be in the NFL.
Nathan Peterman. Oh,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
If Nathan Peterman is still cashing checks with the NFL logo in the corner, then Colin Kaepernick should be in the NFL.
I'm just saying, I just don't.
That's
think
not a hot take.
I just don't think it's going to happen, and I no one wants the circus with a backup quarterback.
Bring the 10 over here.
Oh, that would be a freaking carnival over there. Going on with crazy stories as well. A judge denies the motion of the NFL to dismiss John Gruden's lawsuit against Roger Goodell and the NFL. Gruden, is suing the NFL because he feels like he was wrongfully fired because of those emails.
He was.
Does he have a case? I mean, I think so.
I think so.
I'm not saying I agree with his emails, but
the NFL basically openly admitted that there was other emails that they just deleted, and they kind of picked Gruden out of the hat to post his publicly. They didn't post the rest of them publicly. Where did the rest of them go? Where did the other 900,000 of them go? They just went away.
Well, I heard,
I think that in itself is case enough right there. Where Gruden goes, hey, they didn't post all of them. They posted mine.
If that's the truth, then definitely has a case.
I mean, and Daniel Snyder, there was Snyder emails, and they went away. Now they're trying to blackball him for a different reason. But Daniel Snyder had emails that were just as bad.
Well, Daniel Snyder needs to.
100%. But what I'm saying is, why didn't you? If you were going to do this, and you were going to,
why did you do it to Daniel Snyder?
Why did you do it to Gruden and not Snyder?
Well, what I heard was there was an investigation, and they said they found no other emails that were as bad as Gruden or anything to that point.
I mean, I don't know.
John Gruden will probably win the case. I mean, not saying
I think the NFL. I don't think it ever sees a courtroom. I think they ask Gruden, "What do you want?
Yeah,
here's some money.
You're never getting a job again."
Yeah, I would think that would be part of the agreement, but we'll see. I mean, how old is he anyway? Was he really going to coach for ever?
10 years?
Plus,
yeah, that 10-year contract. I don't.
Plus, I think they're going to pay that probably secretly. The Davis family will pay that.
I think he has a lawsuit definitely, and probably if it goes anywhere, will win. It probably won't reach that point, but
I don't think so. The NFL doesn't like their name being in the highlight like that.
Yeah. Well, the Cardinals are going to be on the in-season Hard Knocks this season. I don't know. Do you watch that show? I mean, last year it was on the Indianapolis Colts. It was the first year they did it. I watched
it a couple years ago when they had Dallas on there.
Well, this
but now I have HBO. But I have HBO Max or whatever it's called there, so it's easier to watch. I never had HBO before, so I would just listen to what the clips were on the radio.
But have you watched the in season Hard Knocks?
No, I didn't see the one with the Colts last year. But I think they do this. I think they picked the Cardinals because is Kyler really going to be there? Is he going to really sit out games? Is he going to? I mean, how hard is Kyler going to stand on this? So if you can catch
drama,
some drama, that's normally who they pick as whoever surrounded the turmoil team. You know, they did this a couple years ago with Elliott and him getting suspended, and they picked the Cowboys and the Dak injury. You know, I mean, they were on that with the shoulder and the coming back from the ankle breaking. I mean, they try to pick the teams that have something around them, not just they don't go pick out the Super Bowl really champs. Bad. You know, they don't pick up the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I would watch the Indianapolis Colts one, but I really didn't. My thing with the Hard Knocks, it's kind of fun. If it's your team, it's a lot funner because you feel like you're more into it. But they obviously they obviously get to filter out what's shown, what's not shown, what leaks out there. So if it was a true behind the scenes look, then I think it would be a lot more interesting. But that's
I mean, everybody knows the cameras are there. I mean, they follow them around.
That's just never going to happen. Of a legit, show.
Yeah.
Green Bay's never been on it, so I would love for Green Bay to be on it. Love it.
Well, normally it's a team that's not very good.
It's a team that's not in the play. They can't have made the playoffs. That's
if
what
you want.
like.
Yeah, if you want a team that if you want the Packers to be on it, they got to start not being good at football.
Well, when Rodgers leaves, that'll happen.
Yeah.
Not until then. But let's see. We're almost through. We got some baseball left. I'm gonna pop it over to you, Craig, real quick for your Craig's hockey hat trick, real quick. Give us
the Flames got eliminated last night. That series did not become what we thought it was. Edmonton, after losing the first game and letting up 900 goals, and a 15-goal total output in game one, that series calmed down and Edmonton kind of owned it and they won 4-1. Carolina has put themselves in contention. They were down 2-1. Now they're up 3-2 by winning 2 games straight. So that's deal. But I still think your two powerhouses are going to be Colorado and Tampa Bay. They're both already advanced. They both are waiting. And I think those two teams are going to be your Stanley Cup. That's going to be the deal. Now, I mean, can Edmonton surprise you? I mean, yeah, they beat the Flames and they beat them handily. Carolina has struggled with the Rangers. I wouldn't be shocked if that went 7. Because you're going back to New York, and so I wouldn't be surprised if that series went 7. But I think Tampa Bay just looks unconscious right now. I mean, Tampa is just steamrolling people. I mean, steamrolling. They just seem to get better every game. They're just lighting the lamp, and
they're usually good every year, right?
Well, they've won the last 2 Stanley Cups. So
have they?
Yeah, it could be a 3-peat this year.
Wow, that's insane.
I mean, so but they're getting older, and the team's going to start to back up a little bit. But man, they look, and they came into the playoffs kind of limping in. Boy, they've gotten it all fired on the right cylinders now.
Man, talk about a city down there that they got the Buccaneers who just won not too long ago. They got Tampa Bay, and they got
in the World Series, and then they got a 3-peat.
Well, they got a 3-peat. Well, they have a baseball team that the fans don't really care about, and
they don't care about none of them.
They win 100 games every year. I'm like,
they don't care about
what's going on here.
Tampa Bay sports is the biggest dynasty in all sports, and the fans are just like, maybe.
It's insane.
Okay.
It's insane.
But then every time you talk about taking one of their teams, they're like, don't you talk about that. That's our team. Start showing up.
Yeah.
Playoff tickets to the Tampa Bay Lightning right now are like $40,
That's crazy.
Playoff tickets to the New York Rangers games are $700.
That's what it's going to be to go to the Packers-Cowboys game this year.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Jeez,
or just sit in Brian's living room.
Yeah. That's exactly what's going to happen. Is that all for your hat trick, sir?
Yeah, we're running down on deal, and the guy from the Bruins, the forward, he just had hip surgery. He's going to be out 6 months.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
Probably miss the start of next season. But it was successful. No, even though I never heard of a surgery that was not successful.
The surgery was
we didn't get it. Yeah, we didn't do it. We didn't.
Career over. It was done. Yeah,
so,
never heard that.
Yeah. So
all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of rooting for Colorado now. I think I like to see the
They
young
are
team.
they are good and they
That
are young. Colorado will be a force to reckon with for many, many years to
I
come.
want to see a Colorado Tampa Bay championship game 7.
I'll
Man,
watch every
that's what.
game, just like I'll watch every game of the NBA Finals, no matter which two of the teams are in it.
Well, speaking of the NBA Finals, we got the NBA are adding 2 more teams. Craig, they're adding one in Vegas, and they're finally bringing one back home to Seattle. I like the idea, but where are you going to get talent? I mean, I think we're kind of stretching thin already of good basketball teams.
Gonna have to do like you do. I mean, I'm assuming they'll do in hockey and doing a draft, and you'll have so many players that you can protect. You know,
Yeah.
the Mavericks will be able to protect Luka, but you're gonna end up, guys like Kyrie, guys like all these guys, can be picked and can be picked from your team, and that's how these teams build. Because I mean, there's no other way to do it.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Um, so
I think
is this
Seattle
when does
getting.
this go into effect? Next year or 2 years from now?
I'm not sure. There's no timeline, I don't think yet.
But they announced them.
Yeah, they announced it. Well, I wouldn't say it came over ESPN, but 105.3 Fan announced it the other day. So it's out there, and those are the 2 cities. So Seattle's getting the Sonics back, which will be good for them. They feel like the team was kind of ripped away from them, anyways. And Seattle's a good sports town. So, and Vegas, I think will be. The Vegas Raiders are there, and we're going to have the new Vegas basketball team. So I'm excited. I think growth is great. I think, look, I lived in Utah for a year. There's the Utah Jazz.
Yep.
And that's it. And BYU, your college football is probably bigger up there than the NBA basketball. But other than that, there's really not much. So I'm like, bring those states that have no teams.
Yeah.
Bring them some teams.
Yeah.
So I like the idea. I just don't know if just talent wise, are they going to be in the West? Or are they going to be in the East?
I think they probably do
we'll
1-1.
Yeah, well, yeah, that probably would make sense, wouldn't it? Probably
Although
Seattle.
it doesn't make sense because both teams are out west, so to put Vegas in the East doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll put them both in the West.
Yeah, but then that would be an uneven amount of teams in one, and then I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll let the NBA
unless you like relocate the Mavericks to the East because they're kind of centralized. I don't know.
Well, that'd be great for us because we would be the 2nd seed every year.
Yeah, right.
I mean, the East is getting stronger, but the West is where the and it used to be that way in the NFL. The NFC was dominant for a long time, and now the AFC's got a bunch of teams that are good, and it's wide open in both right now. But going back to the NBA, Zion has been cleared to start practicing for next season and probably will play next year. We've already talked about Zion. I think he's going to be one of the biggest busts. Is he going to be able to stay healthy? And that's the biggest key. Can he stay healthy?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's good when he's healthy.
Work ethic is a question. Workout, he goes out and he says he's not ready to play, but he's doing 360 dunks on TV in the playoff warm up. And I think his time in New Orleans is over. I think they'll get rid of him. I think they'll move on from him. Now this is going to sound crazy
to Dallas,
but you want to talk about a trade that you probably wouldn't have to give up a whole lot for because he's so unproven. There's a big man that can score. You could get a great guy, but you could also get
an Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
Street clothes, number 2.
So, I mean, is it talk about Shark Tank Gamble 101?
And then you'd have 2 guys we would question their health.
Yeah, man. And you struck out. You did it with Porzingis and it didn't work. Or does he try it again with Zion? I don't know.
No. I'm talking about Luka and his weight issue and coming in unhealthy. They would have 2 guys that'd be like,
yeah.
Now,
They
Going
can
back
both go to Krispy Kreme together.
going back to basketball or the Mavericks. We've been talking about them a lot lately. I think this is the year. If Lucas shows up again out of shape, and I think this is the year that people could start killing him. This is the year coming up. This next year, he already knows. I showed up out of I showed up overweight, a little not all the
One of
way.
those years, though, it's the COVID year, so there's really kind of
No excuses. I'm gonna give him no excuses. Now he's young. He's 23. He's learning. He says, "I'm still learning." I think we're gonna find out how really serious how Luka is. If he shows up again and he's overweight again, we're gonna start having those questions.
Oh yeah,
This is
as
the
you
year.
should.
This is the year to come in and show him. Oh man, Luka's lost some weight. He's worked on this. He's worked on that. That's great. It's fantastic. He's ready to go. And even Jason Kidd has subtle hints about that. About
Yeah, and I think that's
exactly
if Kid can't get him motivated, then nobody will be able to.
exactly. And when you question, like you hear questions on Zion Williams, his work ethic, and I'm not questioning Luka's work ethic. In season, his work ethic's great.
And nobody's questioning Zion's talent.
Right. It's when you're not motivated to work. Like Kobe Bryant was the most motivated son of a gun. He was in the gym.
Oh yeah.
He would outwork you just to say, "I'm better than you."
Anybody had his work ethic, then that's where they'd be.
Oh, that's what Shaq said. Shaq said, if you had just an intense, like he told Shaq, if you just had this much of my work ethic, you'd be the most unstoppable player in basketball.
Yeah, he said. Kobe said, he goes, "We'd have 10 rings." He said, "I'd have 1,000,000 of them."
So when you start questioning work ethic, that's what really scares me as a sports fan. When you hear that of a player or coming out of the draft, his work ethic, that's what's like, oh, that's a big red flag. Because if his work ethic wasn't there in college or wherever, then his work ethic, when it gets harder and the talent around him gets tougher, how much more is he going to be willing to work? And I'm not saying that about Luka. I'm just saying more about Zion. But Luka has to come in shape to start the season, or we're going to start questioning his what is it? His not work ethic, but questioning his wanting. How much does he really want to win?
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%. The off season coming in, being prepared for the season, just like Zeke a couple years ago when he comes in and he's overweight, and yeah, he can get down to the playing weight. But now the last 2 seasons, he's come in, he's been in shape, he's looked better, and it will speak to how bad Luka wants to win. Right. Are you going to take the first month of the season to get in shape, or are you going to come in and hit the ground and not have to work so hard to be playoff ready?
Right. And that's what Shaq did. Shaq came in out of not in shape.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work my way up, and they still dominated the way they did, but it makes it a whole lot easier when you're already in shape and you're doing what Luka has to do, playing with his second round teammates, then it makes it a little bit easier. But we got some baseball to close it out. Matt Carpenter signs with the Yankees. Is this a big deal, Craig? I mean, I don't.
Depends which Matt Carpenter is going to show up. I mean, there's the Matt Carpenter that played with the Cardinals that was an all-star that hit 310 and scrappy, run around the bases, lay everything on the field. If that's the Matt Carpenter they got, the Yankees got a hell of a deal. If the Matt Carpenter has washed up and injured and doesn't have a whole lot in the tank, then whatever. I'm surprised that they just went straight. Here's a major league deal. They didn't no minor league deal, no work your way up. No, I mean they just went into full put him on the roster. Somebody lost a roster spot for Matt Carpenter, so they must have seen something in workouts.
Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, give him. I mean,
how old is he?
You're gonna have to give him. I'd have to look it up. He's probably in his 30s.
I know he used to be really good, but I
Oh, yeah.
haven't heard anything from him from a long, long time. Is he 33, 34? Excuse me. Your Google's slow, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, I can. Mac, how old?
26, 36.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He said
Yeah.
26. I'm like, wait, he's. Oh, never mind. 36. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to finish here, Craig, with
20. He's 36 and he'll be 37 in November. So,
yeah, definitely not young for sports. Isn't it funny how in sports it's like, oh man, this guy's 35. Whoo, he's washed.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I'm almost 35, and I think it's pretty young, but
45.
So we're gonna finish off with your team, Craig. Probably not the news you really want to hear, but San Francisco manager Gabe Kapler is refusing to take the field for the national anthem until, and I quote, until I feel better about the direction of our country, end quote. What say you, Craig? What says that about your manager right there?
This is not the first time he's done this. When we had the whole controversy and the Black Lives Matter and all this stuff, he supported all that and kneeled for the national anthem on opening day during the COVID year, and he's never been one. Gabe Kapler is very big at speaking his mind and telling people, going the opposite of the way the mainstream media and everything like that. But with Major League Baseball, I mean, this isn't a huge deal because they don't, as far as I know, they don't show any of this. They don't. It's not going to bring a whole lot of. I mean, I get it if that's what he wants to do. I mean, if that's what he wants to do, and he thinks that's going to change mass shootings, if that's going to change,
I think it'd do anything.
No, it's not. But if he believes it is, then whatever. I mean, I mean, again, it's negative spotlight towards my team, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
it's funny because
I never was a Gabe Kaplan when they signed the guy to being a manager. I was like, I guess. But then he won 109 baseball games and the most in franchise history. So I mean, he obviously
can't argue, I guess.
Right. No, yeah, right. I can't argue with the result.
I it is what it is. When a lot of these sports started to be, I guess, you could say woke, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
They stopped showing the national anthem. I don't care. That's fine. Stop showing the national anthem. So these guys that kneel, like the NFL, they used to show the national anthem. And they were like, oh, well, we're getting such an uproar because guys are kneeling. We're just not going to show the national anthem. And that's called smart business.
And that's what basically what everybody's done.
Yeah, so these guys still do it. Yeah. And no one cares anymore because they don't show it on national TV.
Big of an uproar because it's just not on TV. It's not on the Diamonds Vision or the big monitor and the deal. San Francisco will not put a camera in the dugout and watch Gabe Kapler not be there. They're not going to do it.
Well, and it's called smart business. And
yeah. But I mean, to my deal is if they're not going to show it and they're not going to talk about it, and the only time it's going to be talked about is in his little dugout press conference. Okay. How much is it really going to do?
Well, none of this is going to change anything.
No.
Colin Kaepernick kneeling didn't change anything.
No.
It's not going to change anything. You want to change anything, you got to put your effort and time off the field. And a lot of these guys do, though. They do spend money in the
cities. I mean, Dak Prescott goes and donates to all these different funds and all this other stuff. Yeah, a lot of the guys do it. A lot of the guys put the money where their mouth is.
Right.
But it's still, and even then, it doesn't change a whole lot.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not trying to get it all political either. We try to show that crap on this show because we know it divides.
Well, there's no win. I mean, you're always
there is no win.
Somebody.
Yeah. But I think that's our last headline. Has anything popped up since we've been on the show tonight that you
just
can
Tyler
see?
Hero deciding he's not going to play. I don't know what that was about. I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know. But Hero's not going to play. I can't find anything on Butler. So
Smart and Williams are going to play.
Yeah.
And Hero out.
Yeah. So I don't see anything about Jimmy. So I mean, that's probably maybe a game time decision.
There is something that popped up a little bit earlier that I didn't mention, but the Browns agree with tight end Njoku. They agreed a 4-year, $56 million deal to add him there for a little bit longer. So that is.
I've always liked him there, and I thought he was going to be. I thought him and Baker were really going to be good together, and that just hasn't been the case.
What's insane to me, speaking of Baker and Cleveland, and I've never been a Cleveland Browns.
Maybe Deshaun likes using tight ends, so maybe Njoku decided to stay.
Maybe, but I thought you were going a different direction with that.
No, stop it.
Sorry, you said that with a straight face. Like, wait, my bad. You meant to. My bad. All right, get your mind out of the gutter, Brian.
The actual position on the field. Oh my God. Okay.
Njoku is a great addition, and Deshaun Watson is going to win games there whenever he's allowed to play.
Not really an addition. They've had him. They just haven't used him.
Well,
that's been his argument. That's why he's wanted out, is because they haven't thrown him the football.
Not addition, but you know what I mean. Whatever. He's going to continue to be good. Anyways, Baker Mayfield has been the best quarterback the Browns has had since I've been alive.
Yeah.
And y'all threw him under the bus. Buried him 10 feet under. What's going on?
And now are refusing to even let him go play football anywhere else.
Cleveland Brown fans have turned on their quarterback faster than the Eagles fell apart after the Super Bowl. I don't understand it. Now, don't get me wrong.
It's a shark-infested water over there.
I was not apparently they're like, we got a good coach, we got a good defense. Baker Mayfield's garbage. Let's just get it. Look,
I think
don't get it.
I think it's his work ethic and his attitude is what it is.
He could rub some guys the wrong way. Definitely. I like his. What I really like about Baker is he gives it all his all. You can't argue that.
Yeah, I can't.
But he played a lot of the year injured.
Yeah.
Last season.
Yeah. I mean, if I have a torn labrum, whether it's my throwing hand or throwing shoulder or not, guess where I'm at? Holding the clipboard.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let a 300-pound lineman drive me into frozen turf with a torn labrum.
He's out there playing with it, giving his heart off for the team, and they're like, "Hey, Baker,
trying to make the playoffs," and they're like, "We're gonna go get this guy."
Now, don't get me wrong, okay?
We're gonna go get Captain Morality.
Baker Mayfield, was not the guy to take you to the promised land. I don't think.
Put some stuff around him.
Well, he's had some stuff around him. Let's not act like the Cleveland Browns were the Cleveland Browns were 10 years ago.
Odell Beckham said it wasn't. It came out and said it wasn't. He wasn't the problem. So,
well, Odell Beckham proved that he still has something left. Well, I don't know if he tore his ACL at the Super Bowl, but he did play pretty good last season. Now, and I cannot blame Cleveland for going after and getting Deshaun Watson. He's obviously the better quarterback. But man, y'all have no love for poor old Baker Mayfield, who's missing out. He's having FOMO with his buddies in Cancun or wherever Deshaun Watson's taking the whole team, and he didn't get that invite. Poor Baker.
That's
poor Baker Mayfield.
Dude, I'm just like, okay, listen, I can't go to here. I can't do this. I need to
trade me.
Yeah.
Go to Atlanta. Why is Atlanta sticking with Marcus Mariota?
Atlanta, Seattle.
Seattle has no quarterback. Drew Lock. Yeah. Drew Lock is garbage.
There's your start, Kaepernick. There's your start. Go to Seattle. You're better than Drew Lock right now.
I pick up better stuff in our garbage cans than Drew Lock at quarterback. Okay, Drew Lock is garbage. I try to tell Jeff that, and Jeff would be the optimist. Well, we'll see. We got to give him some time. No, he sucks. He sucks.
So anyway,
Baker Mayfield. It is a crime. It is a crime that you're not on a team somewhere that actually wants you to play football, because you're better than some starters out there.
A lot, yeah. So anywho,
I think it's time to wrap this bad boy up. Look forward to Tuesday. We were going to do our rankings tonight of the 32 teams, but we both been really busy with work. We do work at the same job, and work and life and end of the school year, and we got all this stuff going on that I didn't have the time to put into break down why.
And it just so happened that everybody decided to break some news, to give us some stuff to talk about. So it all worked out.
When we got off on Tuesday, there was breaking news left and right. I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
So it worked out really well for us headline wise. And so look forward to Tuesday. We will be here with a NFL preseason ranking, top 32 teams. We will rank them where we see fit. Our list probably will not match up. Our list probably won't match the professionals. But it should be fun. It should be really fun. And as we get ready for we're coming into that season, Craig, where hockey's about to wrap up, NBA's about to wrap up, and all we have left is baseball. And they play 100 billion games. So
you won't even get the All-Star break yet when all the other ones are over. So
it's a tough time. Now, we have the new football league. I guess they're still going. I haven't heard one peep from that league at all. At all.
Find it on TV, I don't
at
know.
all. At all. Like, seriously, the first week you heard about it, and now you don't even hear a peep.
Yeah.
So that does not bode well for the XFL when they start next year. But
yeah,
it's with the Rock, so I don't know. We'll see. See what happens with that. Well, Craig, first of all, we didn't do what's in our locker. What are we doing? What are we doing over here?
Yeah.
That's for you, Eric. I know you're probably not watching, but that's for you. Craig, what is in your locker this week? Let me throw it up there. Boom.
Got to work for a little bit in the morning, and then
a little bit.
work. Yeah, a little bit, a lot, whatever. Go and we're gonna get a little pool party with Mr. Austin, and we're gonna have that, and it should be a good time. Sunday's just gonna be a day to do nothing and try to recover from the disappointing end to a very hard-fought season that did not go as planned on Wednesday. I absolutely imploded on the biggest night of the year and cannot figure out why. So
did you pull an Aaron Rodgers?
I pulled something. Yeah. I mean, let's put it this way: when 25 other teams don't come within a 3-foot radius of you because they know that you're madder than you've ever been. One guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, how'd you bowl tonight?" I said, "Have you ever seen me this quiet?" He's like, "No." He goes, I said, "There's your answer." And he walked off.
Craig is not a quiet guy at
and
all.
So it just did not go as planned. So we're going to take a week or two off and start a summer league and try to get whatever it was fixed. And but Sunday I'm not going to do nothing. Maybe some yard work around the house. But again, tomorrow is an important day, and we're going to have a real good time. And I'm really excited. Tomorrow's just, I'm ready for tomorrow. So
you and me too, both, brother. We my locker this week. Obviously, I've been looking forward to this Saturday for a long time. We got some good. We got a good group of guys we work with, and we're able to go hang out and just rewind and unwind and pool party with some. I think we're having Raising Cane's. I don't even know, chicken tenders, and
he always goes all out.
Some cornhole here. He's got a nice backyard. he's not watching tonight. He's usually on here commenting. We didn't get no commenters tonight. I think that's the first show that we've been on together. We haven't got someone commenting, which stinks, but it is what it is. People are big. He's probably getting ready for the big party.
Doing backyard. He's probably doing yard work.
He's probably doing the yard work. You're exactly right. That's what he's doing right now. But now I got a good group of guys that we get along with, and we like to hang out every now and then. Austin throws about 1 or 2 of these parties a year. So, but we also get together when football games are going too. So that's always fun. I got that this weekend. I got to take my daughter. Last weekend, my daughter Phoebe had a birthday party to go to, and I just took her into the pool, and my oldest daughter was a little upset that she couldn't go. So I told her, Daddy will take just you to the pool this weekend. So Sunday,
which will now upset the other daughter.
Yeah, the other daughters, and then it'll have to be 4 different trips.
Yeah, four different single trips to the pool.
Yeah. You're exactly right. And you know, Austin invites the wives and kids and to come out and I told him
Zach's like hard pass. I don't know anybody. I said, okay.
I told him, I go, if I bring my kids, I'm in the pool 100% of the night. I can't do anything else. So that's not happening. But it'll be fun.
Bro, shallow end.
It'll be fun. Well, I like our pool here at the community. It's got a splash pad built into the pool, which is fantastic. So we like to visit the pool quite a bit during the summer with the girls. We got zoo passes. We will be taking full advantage of this summer as well.
I love the zoo, man. The zoo here is great.
The zoo's fantastic.
I've
never been to Dallas because Fort Worth's so freaking good that
I got a sky tram that runs around and goes into like a safari. You know, like sometimes it's really cool because all the animals are out in their natural living deal. Sometimes you don't see nothing because they're not out. But it's a really cool. You know, you just ride around the whole zoo on a sky train looking at animals. The Fort Worth Zoo right now, they don't have any big cats. Their big cat exhibit is being rebuilt, and they're changing up a lot of things. So last time we went, we didn't, and those cats won't be back until next year. So you won't see any big cats when you go. You won't see any lions and cheetahs and tigers. They don't have them in just like through the glass.
Nope, they're changing it up. They're completely somewhere different now.
So we shipped them. Would we ship them to New York and we'll get them back when we're done? Like
maybe to Dallas, maybe a little quick transfer. I don't know how that works.
Put them on the Madagascar boat and ship them off, and
they probably have a back room somewhere, but I just don't know. But they're going to come back this year. They have a thing now where you can feed.
That's the best part of the whole zoo.
I know. Well, now you can feed giraffes, so that's pretty up there with the kids. You know, you can't touch them, but you can feed them. Yeah, yeah. One of your kids,
maybe.
Catch me on a wrong day.
Yeah.
We're gonna do that this summer, but no, I'm excited. It's summer. Other than the heat, it's fantastic here in Texas.
Yeah. You better go. You better go at 7:00 in the morning.
Yeah, they're not even. Yeah. You ain't lying. Well, now they have a water park there, so you can go to the water park and then walk around the zoo. It's pretty fantastic.
How did I miss that?
All right, it's somewhat new. Anyways, before we talk our ears off about what we're gonna do this summer. That's my week. I'm still watching the show Bel Air. I'm trying to give a review on it. I don't even know if I'm going to finish it. It's really not that good. What other shows I've been trying to watch? I'm waiting for what's that show, Craig? You look like that guy, Rip.
Oh, Yellowstone.
Waiting for Yellowstone.
They're gonna do. I guess they're gonna split season it or something like that, or
they always split season. Usually the last year.
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Ugh. I think it hits this weekend. I'm not sure. I'm excited about that. Me and the wife will watch that. It's a fantastic show.
They don't do scary or whatever that's called.
That's
out.
That's fantastic, is what it's called.
Out.
But anyways, guys,
hard pass.
It's a great show. Have a fantastic weekend. Most of you guys, if you have normal lives, are off on Monday. Enjoy it. Me and Craig will be working. Don't worry though, we get that holiday pay. Woo! Anyways, enjoy your weekend, guys. Have a good Memorial Day, and let's remember what wine we have.
Guess
Memorial
we're gonna have to start watching that now.
What?
Stranger Things.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's not that scary. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's
All
not
right.
scary. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I'm not surprised they haven't watched it already.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy your weekend. Me and Craig will have one heck of a time tomorrow. Oh, we do have one chat. Nice. Thank you, Liana. Liana. Hope
Lena.
I'm saying that. Lena. Thank you. It's out now. It probably would hit today. That'd be a fantastic time to hit Memorial Day weekend. Awesome. Thank you for that. We appreciate that. I'm gonna go watch. Well, I gotta go to bed because I gotta work in the morning, just like you. What time are you showing up tomorrow?
Is noon an option?
Well, you gotta drive forever to get your
Yeah.
47 games.
Thank you for that, Captain Obvious. Appreciate that.
I come in at 2:30, so
that is not happening.
Same.
1,000,000% not happening. Let me tell you what time we're not coming in.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a hard pass.
Hard pass. All right, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Have a fantastic Memorial Day.
We don't do 2:30 on Monday through Friday. We're not doing it on Saturday.
Thank you, Liana, for giving us that. I'm probably butchering that name.
Yes,
Lena.
I told yes.
Lena. Sorry, Lena. Sorry, my bad, Lena. I appreciate you 100%. Stranger Things is out now, so go watch it. It's fantastic. And remember, guys, keep it outspoken. Outspoken there, Craig.